So I am still working on the full size head for the Struthiomimus, and there have been some side quests along the way. Even the full size head is a side quest. I'm actually wanting to do Struthiomimus to produce a base kit for the Prehistoric Scenes Tyrannosaurus Rex that did not come with a base. It's the only kit that didn't. So I'm working on that, and that head is kind of an experiment to kind of figure out how to do the Struthiomimus. But getting back to that full size head, of course, it's going to need eyes. And I've looked at some different ways of doing eyes, and the one that looks the most promising, and I will fully admit I'm going to be stealing from Kayakasaurus, is the use of, and hopefully I don't butcher this, cabochons? I think so. Anyway, they're glass, little thin domes. They're flat on this side, and so I've tested them. They're fine to bake in the oven because I'm working with Sculpey polymer clay, and you bake that, and so these bake just fine. I'll have to see how they do if you bake them or you paint them and then you bake them. We'll see what happens, but I think that they will be okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you've probably seen little round stickers in your office supply shops in various places. I'm going to put one of those in the middle to mask off the pupil. Then I'm going to paint the eye with all the detail that I want. And once that's dry, I'll remove that masking and paint the pupil in. I think it'll ought to work pretty good. So we're going to find out. So stick around for this new adventure. It took about 4 attempts to get this right. The process I settled on was to first take some of these little 3-hole reinforcement labels. They're about a 1/2 inch diameter with a 1/4 inch diameter hole in them that you use to reinforce 3-hole paper. So I put that in the center of the eye, painted in the little hole with black, since it's going to be black anyway, just to keep any stray paint off of it. Then I brushed on some Tamiya clear just to seal up around the edge of the label, because I found if you don't do that, paint will seep in underneath it, and then you have to clean it up, and it's a pain. So once I had that sealed up, I then used a stiff bristle brush and lightly stippled on various colors to get what hopefully was close to the reference pictures I was using. And once that was done, I then took an X-Acto knife and scored around the label so I could get a clean peel, because if you don't do that, you may peel off paint outside the label. So I scored the label and then removed it with an X-Acto knife, cleaned it up, and then painted the center with black, and that gave me the final result that I was happy with. Okay, so they're done here. Not exactly as my reference picture, but pretty close. Pretty close. I'm where I can live with these. So pretty happy with them. Let me show you where. And those are actually still drying, but let me show you where they're going to go into. This is the Struthiomimus life-size head I'm working on. Still needs a lot of work. but the eye, I'll take one of these over here, will go in something like that. So this is one of the previous versions I did. These are the prior attempts, if you will. And that's pretty typical of any creative endeavor, you know. You're not going to get it. Usually, unless you're very experienced, you're not going to get it on the first try. You're going to have to do a few times to get it. And that's what happened here. So, pretty pleased with it. Yeah, these are just glass, and hopefully I'm not butchering this, cabochons that I used for these. And I think they worked pretty well. The next step the next adventure is going to be to finish this life-size head, and I've got a lot of engineering problems to solve with this one, but I'll get there. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and there will be more adventures to come. Stay tuned.